The Georgia Bulldogs are going to be an interesting spot in 2025. Very interesting spot. They're coming off a season in which most teams would call a success. Winning the SEC is a big deal. So, like, beating Texas twice in a season, big deal.
Actually, it's not that big.
And then they got their starting quarterback injured in the SEC championship, and they lost in their first game after having a bye to Notre Dame, who ended up losing in the national championship. So, this Georgia team, 13 players drafted, a lot of turnover, new quarterback, or I guess, quarterback that played a game and a half last year. They're plus 650 to win the Natty. They're minus 250 to make the college football playoffs. So Vegas loves this roster.
Yeah.
I want to dive into it. I want to talk about this team, this roster composition, what it looks like going into next season. Then we could talk every game on their schedule, compare it to the win totals. Mike, why don't you kick us off here? When you look into this Georgia team, what are you seeing?
So if we're going from the surface down, in my opinion, this Georgia Bulldogs team is going to be, this whole season is going to be a season of faith and how much can you trust in Kirby Smart, who really hasn't given anyone ever a reason to doubt him.
Facts.
But here's the thing, is that their offensive line is returning one starter. His name is Micah Morris at left guard. But, the problem with that is, A, there's no cohesion in that this brand new offensive line. And B, their offensive line wasn't even that stellar last year, ranking 51st in total yards gained on offense at an average of 405 yards a game. Again, 51st for an offensive production category for Georgia Bulldogs is kind of ridiculous. Like, you don't really hear that. So, again, leaves a big question mark there. Gunnar Stockton, I actually like Gunnar Stockton. I think he's a pretty talented guy. I think, especially in the Penn State game and, the last drive or quarter of the Texas game.
Last half.
He's a second half guy. I could tell you that. But regardless, I think they have an incredibly tough schedule ahead of them. Their defense is still a Georgia defense, so it's going to be above average. It's whether or not they kind of break through that second tier and become like an elite defense, as we know Georgia to be. But again, just losing so many defensive key players and then filling them back in with top tier transfers, but transfers nonetheless, just makes this, for me, like, if you're a Georgia fan, I think you're going to be riding a lot on faith here. And, time will tell, but Kirby Smart hasn't really led you wrong. So,
yeah. I'm starting at the same spot. Kirby Smart's best coach in college football, and it's really not close right now. I mean, he has multiple national championships. He has kept his team in that number one conversation for the majority of the last 7 years in college football, which there's not one coach right now in college football that can say that. There isn't.
I guess not Ohio State.
No, I mean, Georgia, just longevity-wise, Ohio State's had a couple years where they, fumbled the bag a little bit.
Yeah, missed playoffs.
Yeah, and so I think similarly to Ohio State, the massive roster shifts on this Georgia team are significant for this team. They lost 13 players to the NFL draft, behind only Ohio State's 14 players getting drafted. And most of the drafted players, especially at the top, were on the defensive side.
Oh, my God.
And so I'll get to defense in a second, but I want to talk about this offense first. Gunnar Stockton's getting his first full season start at QB after they, lose Carson Beck to the transfer portal. I actually think it's the best thing that could have happened to this offense. Mike was totally right. When Georgia's offense last year, they just weren't that good. Something was off. I think that something, the answer was receivers, because they didn't have threats down the field or anyone to catch the ball. They loaded the box, and they had a hard time running the ball. And so it was just kind of – but Kirby Smart is Kirby Smart, so they ended up winning the SEC championship in a season where all the metrics were way down and their quarterback got hurt, which is still insane. So I want that thought to be above all our heads while we're thinking about this team. But, yeah, I think Gunnar Stockton has what it takes. He played well in the SEC championship. Really well. He won them the SEC championship, and he actually played well against Penn State, a game they honestly were just kind of outmatched in. Notre Dame, sorry. Yep, against Notre Dame. A game they were just honestly outmatched in. Riley Leonard kind of dominated. In the transfer portal, I was really worried about their wide receiver room. And that's what they addressed. That is what they got. They went and got Zachariah Branch, former 5-star from USC, who's absolutely explosive. Maybe the most explosive wide receiver in college football. USC had no idea how to utilize him. His freshman year, he was insane. Last year, barely played, sat out a little bit, entered the transfer portal, committed to Georgia immediately. And then they went and got Noah Thomas, the 6'5" wide receiver from Texas A&M. That's going to be their wide receivers 1 and 2, along with Bell, who's returning from last year. I think they're set at wide receiver. And then at running back, they're stopping with the committee, all these 3 running back. So they have Nate Frazier
Frazier's a dog.
coming into next season. He's going to be the guy. Nate Frazier's the guy. They have their quarterback, no questions. They have their running back. They revamped the wide receiver room. Offensive line, like you said, not returning a whole lot. But I think that it is something to be said. They usually don't have problems on the offensive line. They recruit top 5 O-line classes pretty year in and year out. I think they'll be fine. So offensively, I think this team's taking a huge step forward. Like much improved from last year. Defensively, small step back. And their defense wasn't even fantastic last year. In the portal, they got a couple studs. Guy Elijah Judy from A&M, and they have the best freshman 5-star recruit on defense in Elijah Griffin. And then they added a few safety transfers, Zion Branch from SC, whatever. Yeah. I wasn't super impressed with what they did on defense. Georgia always has a guy or two that pop out and just look like they're going to be, the number 1 pick in the draft. But, yeah, a lot up on offense, small down on defense. And I think this team is definitely a sleeper that some people might overlook and some people might overhype. So I'm excited to get in the schedule.
Just have a really tough schedule.
Yeah, that's why I'm excited to talk through these games.
Yeah, this is tough, really tough. I think you guys nailed it. I think this is the most polarizing team in all of college football. They can go so many different ways. I think just for next year, they lost their biggest. I think their defense got shredded, as we said. And they have some transfers.
Jalen Walker, Malachi Starks.
I mean, it was
all across the board.
Everyone gone.
It was also not just any players. They were talking about first round players.
These are all first rounders.
I'm saying, so this isn't just like Ohio State where maybe it's a couple second rounders, third rounders. So I think it's going to be real tough to fill that void. And their defense, I think they're going to have to rely on because there's no way this offense is going to be that good. Like in my personal, I don't think it's personally going to be top 10. Like I really find it hard for this offense to be top 10, especially with the running game being okay. Frazier's good. I think he'll be one of the best backs in the country, but not in that top tier, but hopefully good. The wide receivers are terrible. Zachariah Branch has pop, but he's not running routes. He's not that good. He can return the ball. He's a good special teams guy.
I disagree.
Noah Thomas is mid as anyone could be. He's tall and his catch radius is good, but he has no hands. I think this team, like I said last year they had stars on defense, which carried them, and I think into an SEC championship that was just, they played a good game. Texas kind of choked it. They don't have those star players this year on either side of the ball, in my opinion. You could say what you want about Gunnar Stockton. I'll get proved wrong. But they just don't have that star talent that they have every year on either side of the ball this year. It's the first year where it's like, holy shit. So I think it's just a tough team to digest. I think they maybe have a similar pattern to last year because Kirby Smart is the GOAT right now. So it's hard to argue with, but I just don't see them performing as well with a team that's, in my opinion, this bad as a Georgia standard. I think that's one of the worst teams it's had.
So you think roster-wise,
is destroyed. Like these guys that we're talking about, they won't be 4 first rounders in the first round like they have every year, or 13 draft picks. This will not be the case with this team. That's why I'm a little down on this team. But it is Georgia and it is Kirby Smart, so I'm not destroyed on this team.
Yeah, I don't think Noah Thomas is good. I'll agree. I'll disagree on Zachariah Branch. That's for sure. I just think USC cooked him. They didn't know how to use him.
He did have one of the best offensive coaches.
He's terrible, but okay.
He has 5-star, runs like a 4.2, but we'll see. I mean, receivers at Georgia have not panned out fantastic the last 2 years.
No,
so
they do their job.
Yeah,
but they don't do well.
We'll see what happens. All right, let's dive in the schedule. Plus 320 to win the SEC.
Wow.
Win
That's
total.
Be one of the worst odds.
Not taking that one.
Win total is 9.5 at minus 150. So it's a heavy favorite, but it's 9.5.
God.
And then minus 250 to make the college football playoffs. Plus 650 to win the Natty. Keep those numbers in mind as we go through the schedule. It is definitely a gauntlet. First game, really tough one. Home against Marshall.
Lose. 40-point favorites.
Yeah, their first 2 games are easy. Home against Marshall, home against Austin Peay.
And then
they're
really
gonna win.
hard.
It's the hardest stretch of football I've ever seen in a long time.
Yep.
At Tennessee, I think this is a non-debatable win.
I think there's a non-debatable loss.
Who does Tennessee have?
I don't necessarily think that Tennessee is going to be the absolute juggernaut to be like, they're going to be like a national title contender and that's why they're going to win. But I think it's going to be more of a test for Gunnar Stockton going into an extremely difficult Knoxville environment. I think Tennessee, after last year, yes, they lost Nico, but I think there's a lot of momentum going forward and their way and their football program. I think that goes in terms of recruiting and coaching. I think, you're going to see this Tennessee
You're a
team.
hypo guy.
I think this Tennessee team actually
too.
has some potential to do some disrupting. Again, I don't think they're going to be a contender like shot at all. I don't even think they're going to make it to a SEC championship or win. But I think they have just upset potential like within that team.
Especially
I
at home.
really like that football program after last year. I think there's a lot of momentum. And that just the big test of going into Knoxville probably at night for Gunnar Stockton, this whole revamped Georgia team. This is where
It's a day
faith.
game.
I mean, faith is going to be tested here.
It's a day game. But, yeah.
Really
What do you think, Ryan?
tested.
This is tough because I hate the idea of Georgia getting a walk through the first two games. So their offense is going to flow. They're going to score 50. Gunnar will be out at halftime in both those games. And he's going to have to go against one of the best defenses in the country. After last year, they were almost, in my opinion, they were easy top 10, maybe top 5 defense. And now he's going to have to go in. I think it'll be a great game if who wants it more. Maybe Georgia just has more talent and they just take over. But I don't think this is for sure a win. I'm going to give it to Georgia only because they have Kirby Smart. I don't know, this is a big test, especially for the future. They have to get this first SEC W, in my opinion, like a big game. So I'll give it to Georgia, but I think this is going to be a great game.
Just being away
Real
makes
great.
it
Yeah,
so gnarly.
I'm not even sweating this game.
Blow up.
This is, in my mind, in the
What do you
same
think the
boat.
spread is? Like,
Same boat as Marshall and Austin
no,
Peay.
get the fuck out of
Same boat. 3 walks to start the
All
year.
right, 3 walks.
Next game's home against Bama.
Jesus Christ.
I have a win there.
Win.
Yeah.
Which is crazy because Bama actually has Georgia's number, like how Michigan has Ohio State's number.
I don't know if it's to that extent.
I mean, they've won the past
Couple
3
years.
or 4, I
Yeah.
think.
Well, because of the 2022 championship,
one of
when
those
they
that, like-
lost in the championship and won in the.
I need to
Oh,
look into
okay,
the past
yeah,
history.
yeah,
But
okay, that is true. But
yeah,
I
we're
don't know about
gonna
regular season.
we're gonna
I'll give it to
talk,
Georgia.
We're gonna talk Alabama in the future, but I think being home helps a lot here. Georgia
It will.
hasn't lost a home football game in the last 5 years.
Yeah.
So I just think home in general for Kirby Smart typically does well. So we all have that as a win.
Plus, Kalen DeBoer is like,
Great.
on the spectrum.
Yeah,
That's
I
absurd.
have it as a 70-30, but it's a win.
That's fine.
In my book. Home against Kentucky.
Probably win.
Easy, win.
Win.
Not easy, but win.
At Auburn.
Win, but tough. Tough win, but win.
They're not winning 4 straight of these games, so I think if I'm giving them the other 3, I'll give Auburn the 1 loss. But I think it's one of these games they're going to lose.
I think Ole Miss might be a more.
Wait, we're going to talk Ole Miss in a sec. I have Auburn as a win.
Yeah, I have it as a win. I think it's going to be a 75-25 win. Like 75% chance.
That's a murder.
75%
score
chance.
thing.
No.
Probably.
A 75-25. You're taking the over.
Yeah. Auburn's going down.
Yeah, home against Ole Miss next.
That's a tougher one.
Should be a
but
win.
I think it's a win.
I also think it's a win. I don't think Ole Miss is going to be
Yeah, it
good at
shouldn't
all.
be that
next
good.
year.
I just
They
think
lost
they're
their
kind of
ball.
one of those again similar sneaky upset team. Lane Kiffin is great with recruiting. Lane Kiffin.
Yeah, there you go.
Next game's at Florida.
Holy
Every game always plays close.
Especially after DJ didn't get to
And-
play it.
And Carson Beck is going to go for his revenge.
Really? It's going to be crazy.
This
Oh
is
wait,
not.
no,
this
nope.
is not.
I'm
Carson
thinking-
Beck's on
nope,
neither of these
Nope.
teams.
Yep.
Carson Beck revenge game. That's what
No,
we're
but
talking about.
I actually do think this at Florida game is a harder game than at Tennessee or at Auburn if we're talking away games. Florida's the only one with a real QB1 overall in a recruiting class coming into his second year. They added a lot of pieces. The schedule is a total gauntlet,
It's ridiculous.
but
Oh, yeah.
I can't find the losses here.
Wow.
I
That's
can't
crazy.
find them. Win in Florida. I have it. What you guys have win as well?
I have a loss. I think they lose 2 out of these. I think they lose 2 out of this 8-game gauntlet. And we're not done with the schedule, so I'll just say
All right.
loss.
Well, I have it as a 60-40 win for Georgia.
All right.
So what?
At Miss State,
Win.
win.
Yeah.
Home against Texas.
They win. I'm never
70-30 win.
It's the Michigan thing. I'm not going to argue
60-40 win.
No,
again.
100% win.
I have
Home-
it as our 1 loss, so
Home against Charlotte.
Win.
win.
And
yeah.
neutral against Georgia Tech.
I mean, that has to be a loss for you.
80-20 win.
No way.
Wow.
The guy's the Georgia
Wow,
Tech
what a
native,
flip.
biggest
What
fan
a
I've ever
flip.
seen in my
That's
life.
not a
What
flip.
a
How's
flip.
that
No,
a
I mean the
flip?
biggest
Where's
fan.
Oh
He's
my
flipping.
gosh.
Flip flop.
You were all about Haynes King,
And fucking-
whatever Haynes. I mean,
Haynes and King and King and Haynes.
King Haynes. and-
King Haynes.
Wait, so
Man.
if I think a team's going to be good and potentially ranked in the top 20 this year, that means I have to have them beating the third-ranked team that won the
100%.
Yes.
in a neutral site.
Yes.
That's
100%.
not what that means.
Yes.
100%.
That's not what that means.
100% of the time.
Okay.
Flip flop.
Yep.
All
All right, what is this win
Guys,
total?
it's a win.
9.5?
Win total's 9.5. I have it likely 11. Potential for 12. Floor 10. So
Wow.
no world does this win total miss. I'm telling you right now, we're not doing these yet. But we do our preseason Mortal Lock best bets for the preseason win totals. This Georgia 9.5 minus 150 is the biggest whip your you know what out on the
Nope.
take a mortgage, put everything you can on this.
We
It
already
is
have
the easiest money you'll
game
ever
of the
make.
year?
It's the easiest money. This might be my game of the year. This might be my game of the year. This season might be my game of the year.
Season of the year. You heard it here first.
Also, I'm taking plus 320 to win the SEC because that's what they do in Georgia. In case you guys haven't realized,
This
now that Saban's out of town, this is going to be known as the Kirby Smart inaugural trophy. It's going to go to him every year. Nick Saban is not in the SEC as long as Kirby Smart is, 100% of the time.
Steve
so you
is
can.
coming.
That's plus 320. And then on the flip side, you're laying minus 250 for Georgia to make this college football playoffs as my next Giga Mortal Lock.
You're a big Georgia
This is.
guy.
I don't even love this team.
I mean,
You love
he's
you're
always
upset.
been a
I don't-
Georgia guy.
I don't even
your
love
second
this team.
He's
favorite team.
always been a Georgia guy.
I'm not betting plus 650 to win the
Georgia.
Natty. I'm not betting it. I don't hate it. Not betting it.
Not betting it, don't hate it. Not betting it.
All right, what are you
Clemson,
taking?
Georgia.
This is tough. I think this is such a good line. Like, unbelievable.
It's a great line.
Because if they drop one of those early ones, like Tennessee, Bama, Auburn, they can easily, I mean, Texas they could easily lose to if Texas is as dominant as we think.
It's Georgia, Texas.
I know.
They're playing each other.
I know. That's why it's tough.
Sark is the coach of Texas.
I'm leaning, like, it's going to be exactly 9.5. I'm going to lean
So
over.
you're taking the under because it's minus 150 on the over. So you take the juice
Yeah,
on the
I'm
under.
going to take the juice on the under, I think.
Wow. Are you betting? What do you think of minus 250 to make the playoffs?
I love that. I mean, it's Georgia.
Yeah, that's-
They're going to make the playoffs.
9 wins.
What the hell was Tennessee? Weren't they 9 wins? last year?
There's not ever been one 3-loss at-large team.
Yeah, Tennessee was 10-2.
Yeah. There's never been a 3-loss at-large team.
There's never been a team to make 12. No team was 3
Clemson was 3-loss, but
Oh,
we
there we
were
go.
but conference champion. There's never at-large. Georgia would have to be at-large, right? With 9 wins. There's never been an at-large bid team with 3 losses.
Well, they'll be the first. You're welcome.
Wow. You heard it here
You
first.
heard it here. There's a first. First.
What about plus 320 to win the SEC?
Is Texas in the SEC?
Yes.
Yes.
Plus
320 to win
320
the SEC. Love
He's
that.
taking the
You're
under.
a real
Under
jackass.
wins, but they
Under-
win the SEC.
Under-
Shit show in the SEC this year. I'm calling it now.
All of his losses were in the SEC as well.
Every
Nah.
loss, SEC.
Physically impossible for those both. to hit.
Everything's possible.
Not
Mike.
happening.
Mike.
50% chance that they have 10 wins, 45% chance they have 9 wins, 5% chance they have 8 wins.
So you're going under.
No, I'm going over because there's a 50% chance that they have 10 wins.
But you said there's 50% chance they have 9 wins.
No, there's a
45.
45%
Oh, no,
chance
below
that they have-
9.5. 50% below 9.5, right?
No.
Yeah.
There's a 50%
Oh, God,
chance
this is
they
gonna
have
hurt.
10 wins
Watch
total.
it back.
Hey,
There's
Don't let
a
him finish that.
45% chance they have 9 wins
And
total.
then?
There's a 5% chance they have 8 wins total.
So what percent chance is below 9.5?
Oh, I mean, if you want to do it that way.
Hey, if you're gonna do it that
What's
way,
the-
Tyler.
I mean, that's
Yeah,
a
if you're gonna do
terrible
it
way.
that way.
That's
I
a
mean, it
terrible
changes
way to do it.
everything.
But I'm
Okay,
saying it's
let me
minus
switch it up. 51%
Let him switch it up.
chance,
Let him switch it up.
45%
Even with that,
chance,
you'd bet the under.
4% chance. No, you wouldn't.
Yes, because it's plus
That's a
money.
49% chance versus a 51% chance.
Yeah, but the 51 is minus 150, and the 49 is
I don't
plus
think that
140.
changes
He's not an
value.
EV guy.
What
He's
do you mean
more
it
of
doesn't
a
change value?
That doesn't change
That's
the
literally
value.
just changed
He's
the
not an
value.
EV
Okay,
guy.
all
He's
right,
more
all
of a
right.
take the.
You
The guy's
assign-
trying to change the way Vegas does math, and he's trying to, announce it like it's a brand new thing. Calling me dumb.
So you're taking the over.
Yeah.
Okay.
What the
You're
hell?
welcome. 51% chance.
What about minus 250 to make the playoffs?
Yeah.
And what about plus 320 to win the SEC?
No fucking chance.
What about plus 650 to win the Natty?
No freaking chance.
Okay.
So he likes the natty a little more because he didn't cuss.
Yeah.
him.
He doesn't think they're winning the SEC.
Not SEC,
No.
but the
Who
natty.
do you
love.
think's winning the SEC?
Hook 'em horns.
But
No.
actually, though, who
Winning.
do you actually think?
Texas.
Oh.
Who do you actually think is going to win that?
Texas.
Actually, though.
Texas.
No, he doesn't think Texas.
Yeah, we don't.
All right, well,
I do. Texas.
yeah, I mean, this Georgia team's all over the place. So you have Mike doing percentages and shit. This
Oh my
got out
God.
of hand quick.
I mean, you're welcome. I gave you math.
That's dangerous. You might have hurt them.
yeah. Yeah, it's not math.
I-
Let us know what you think in the
Kind of.
comments. How's this Georgia team going to look? Because it sounds like we really don't have any
We have no
consensus.
idea.
How's
We have
my
no
math?
idea. To be honest, I had no clue how they're going to look.
Let us know what you thought of Mike's math. Let us know what teams you want us to cover. We've covered a lot. If you're new to the channel, go ahead, click that subscribe button, scroll around the series, see which teams we've already covered. If we haven't picked your team you want to hear about, let us know in the comments.
Marshall.
We will cover them.
Marshall.
No chance.
We got a lot more coming. Stay tuned. We'll see you on the next one.
Bang.